Hello to you today. I hope you realize just how freaking amazing you are, okay? You are the bee's knees, and those things are hard working. The knees of bees, as they're slurping up all the nectar, not the nectar, the pollen and the nectar. All of the sweet, sweet, tasting, smelling, yummy, yummy stuff. Okay. What is this card from the Arcturians? What pathway is this card going to take us down? I wonder. If you wonder too, let us discover together. Awareness. The energy of awareness makes you see that there is more to things than meets the eye. It keeps you in the here and now and makes you alert. Yes. Awareness that there are many, many levels and layers to all the things and many angles to view, see, interpret, and understand. And because of that, don't spend or expend too much of your energy trying to figure it all out because there are way too many variables to contend with. You will never win when it comes to variables. You will never fully know. You will never be fully prepared. You only create the illusion that you are. And in all ways, you just need to develop the courage and confidence within yourself and your ability to adapt to all of the ways, the things that come at you, to find the path of least resistance. Okay, and Mims is saying that, but yes, thank you, Mims, for moving your cute little fluffy butt out of the way. Okay, let's get some backup rune action to this awareness. What are we being called, guided, gently nudged towards? Flowing. Towards the going with the flowing. A laguz. Okay, water, very much. Sea horse vibes. Where is this laguz? Aha. No. Where are you? There you are. In between. Floating in the great waters, this tiny seahorse feels the current's ebbs and flows. In this great universal ocean of life and in her softly shifting dream state, she knows that unity of all life and the connection that flows through past, present, and future. She knows the unity of all life and the connection that flows through past, present, and future. In her world, water is everywhere, pervading all things, the living energy source of everything. She is a symbol of the unconscious, of invisible life forces, the dream state, and hidden aspects of the self. Laguz is a powerful rune in the way water is powerful, fluid, and ever-changing. It calls you to release the struggle and go with the flow. Spend time in meditation and allow your deeper intuitive state to speak to and guide you. Laguz reminds you that on life's journeys, not all can be controlled, and change is the only constant. Without change, life becomes stagnant. Flow, memory, dreams, the unconscious, fate, and karma. Okay, so the river analogy, right? The struggle is the resistance, the trying to swim back up the river. Sometimes we do this because we may have passed something along the river and that we really wanted, and we feel the need to try to get back to it, to try to to correct or to, I don't know, come at it in the same way. But the thing is we've passed that moment, right? And perhaps you passed it because you didn't see it coming because you were facing up the river. Okay. And then by the time you've noticed it, you've already passed it by. You were too busy struggling against the flow. But if you release and you turn and you float, not only are you not extending any energy trying to fight with this river, you are also positioning yourself to be able to see what's coming way before you move past it. So you can choose, you can tap in, you can tell, you can test to see if that's something that you want. You can shift your weight effortlessly and drift so that the timing is perfect, that you can just reach over and pluck it from the shore as you're on your way by, if you so desire. Okay, going with the flow allows for so much more fluidity. For the things that you want to grab hold of, but also, things that you want to avoid, like a giant boulder that if you were facing upstream, struggling, you would hit without warning. Whereas if you're floating and facing down the river, you see it coming, you shift your body weight, and you just floop right past. right? And it turns into a fun little bump down the road, down the river that you catch air from and you go, wee, over. Okay, this is about making things work for you, not against you, because you are working with you and not against you. Okay, you are both the river and the floater down it. The speed at which your river flows and your ability to navigate all of the unknown variables that you may meet along the way. Okay, there's the first messages for you today. Whoa, that's a couple. I don't know, but they wanted to stick together. Who am I to deny what the cards want to do? Okay, let's just make things make sense and do a little thing called what the heck. Okay, this is what is happening here. Oh, okay, we got us some side ones. Like this, you say? We'll see. We'll see. Okay, let's go right on down the line. Okay, we're talking about going with the flow and having an awareness. Manifesting your wishes coming true, speaking what you want into existence, being mindful of what you speak because it will be. Okay. You've got support and celebratory energy coming from your divine spirit team. Okay, so they're the ones that are listening and receiving the wishes that you put out into the atmosphere. They are taking it, they're getting out ahead of it, they're working with the cooperative components to make things happen for you. This is how manifestations happen. Okay, and your independence, your reaping what you've sown, your state of peaceful sanctuarying of self. This is what connects you with your spirit team and affords you, allows you, emboldens you, empowers you to create what you wish for. Okay, I gotta flip these side ones. What are they about? Oh, abundance and boundaries. Okay, so very balancing between your abundance and your boundaries. I'm getting to keep things to yourself. Not everybody needs to be privy to your fruitfulness. Okay, you don't need to yell it from the rooftops. I got 57,000 tomato plants and they're all ripe, right? You can just be in it. Because yeah, when you um, make these loud declarations, you are no longer having, it's like drawing unnecessary attention to yourself from those who may want just your tomato plants. They don't care about you, they just want your tomatoes, right? So boundaries around you and your safe sanctuary space. It's just like, the deer and the rabbits. There's nothing wrong with deer and rabbits. They're cute. They're nature. They have their things, right? But when you've got a bunch of vegetables growing in your garden, and you put out an APB, I don't know what that stands for. If you put out a signal that's like, "Hey, everybody who can hear me, I've got a bunch of fruit and vegetables," and then all of a sudden the deer and the rabbits are like, "Woohoo, free food!" Right? They're not coming in there. They're not they're just in survival mode. They just want to eat. They just come to eat, and they heard you got lots to eat. So, be mindful, okay, with who you share your abundance with and how. Okay, we've got the heart here, the wounded heart, and this hanged one. The taking some time, looking at things from different perspectives. So this is interesting when it comes to the awareness that all things are not as they seem. Okay, so this could be, your sanctuary space is to allow a safe space for your heart to heal, where you need to go and recalibrate, regenerate, refocus. Okay, we'll just see what else we've got here. Oh, the magician and making wishes. Okay, there you go. Confirmation of the wish fish. So first you speak it, then it turns into a star, and then you keep it in your sights. Okay, and then the magician here, the alchemist. So this could be about alchemizing pain. But we'll see. What are these ones? Wow! Okay, we've got the sun. The sun is the brightest circle I know, shining its light on the people below, helping the plants and flowers to grow. Yes, the sun is the brightest circle I know. Okay, so sunshine. I'm getting like alchemy and, well, look, this magician here. First of all, they've got the sun. Like they are the star. Their sun power, their star power is what is fueling them. But they're also creating this little sun as well. So that's interesting. That's the alchemy part, right? That's the taking the broken heart and turning it into a powerful sun that burns away all of the darkness and invigorates and gives life to all of the other things. Okay, this is the magician's power. This is the sun pressure power that turns coal into diamonds, right? And then this intuition. This is the night. This is day and night power here. You've got your intuitive, veiled, unseen realm and the illuminated, blatant, hot in your face. And there's balance there. Okay, so that's beautiful. That's a very beautiful thing, I think. Yes. Um, so this awareness and going with the flow. So this could be where you're at, where you're headed, or where you've come from. I guess that's where you're at. Let's see. We'll get some supporting cards in here to support this reading. Okay, we've that one. That was a. I think I did a 360. This is the Nine of Cups. This is cups are emotion, and there is a definite momentum. There's a grounded meditative figure. So this is all effort to maintain a flow here. Okay, so this here is your boundaries, right? You need boundaries in order to maintain this sort of emotional regularity. Okay, this emotional momentum. You also need to hang out in your sanctuary space, tapped into your spirit team. Okay, this is definitely on this side of the page here. So that's beautiful. Whether this is where you're at, this is what you've been doing, or this is something that needs to be done, you are the one who decides where you're at in any given moment because you have more information than anybody else. Okay, then we have this Five of Pentacles. Okay, so I'm definitely getting, because we've got this 10 and the 5 here. The 5 is, we've got the masculine, feminine silhouettes here holding hands, so they're together. They're either going towards the temple, towards the heart, towards the inside realms, or they're moving away. They're going out into the cold, okay? And if we put it here, it's connected to your sanctuary space and your broken heart. So this could be where you were at, or because that's the kind of thing going within, reconnecting with the heart, especially to heal it. You go to your sanctuary space for that, right? That's an internal tending, right? It being connected to this abundance, this 10 of Pentacle abundance. This is the long lasting legacy generational abundance. Okay, so I'm thinking that when you heal your heart on your own in this way, it'll last forever, for generations, because you're not relying on someone else to to hold your heart together, right? It's like having a broken heart in these pieces, and you're like, somebody, please, I need somebody to hold. If you're holding it, you don't have your hands free, so you're like, I need somebody else to hold my heart together. And now if you find somebody, right, they're like, what the hell am I supposed to do with this? Now I don't have it, so they're like sticking it in their back pocket. They're not being as gentle and careful with the pieces of your heart because it's more than they can handle. They've got their own stuff, their own heart. They want their hands free, right? So it's just too much to impose upon another. So when you are healing your own heart through your emotional regularity with boundaries, creating your own like sanctuary space and connection with your higher team, higher selves, you are the one who is healing your own heart, carrying your own heart. Maybe you weave yourself a little basket that you can carry the pieces in on, your hip, so you have your hands free. You start to become more independent, and this journey of this masculine and feminine within, that divine union within self, you recognize that you are whole with yourself, right? You've healed the codependency versions of yourself that need someone else to hold your heart or keep your heart together, and you figured out a way to do it yourself. This is your independence. Okay, so that kind of healing and awareness and confidence in self to heal, it's something that is going to last for generations, right? You're no longer going to be so reliant on somebody else. If somebody's like, sorry, I can't hold your heart anymore. Here, take it back, kind of thing. It's not going to devastate you, right? Because you have figured out a way to keep your heart together without somebody else holding it for you, if you know what I'm saying. Okay, I feel like that was long-winded, but hopefully you picked up what I was throwing down there. Okay, let's see. And I'm even thinking like modeling too, to other people, right? They're like, you're pioneering, you're showing that it can be done, that you can hold your own heart without somebody else, like needing somebody else to do that, right? Okay. We've got patience. Sitting here on the stairs, 'cause I'd rather be alone. If I can't have you right now, I'll wait here. Okay, so I feel like patience in the process. Pretty much anywhere this patient knight goes, as he's either attached to your boundaries and your intuition. So this is patience in the process, okay, or patience in this abundance and illuminating connection to the heart action. But I kind of want to put patience here because just like your garden growing, things take time. Setting boundaries, things growing to its fruition, the tending to your garden, getting it to its fruiting stage. These things all take patience. This creating emotional regularity, this going within and balancing and healing of the heart, like all these things take patience. Okay, so I'm putting the Knight of Pentacles down there. Yes, you can't rush the things. You can't make the river flow faster from where you are floating in it. Where was I going with that? I think because it's energy that affects the flow of the river. Okay, so where's this analogy going? So there's rivulets that can take like that dispersed flow, right? Little rivulets coming off your main river, and so it's taking away from the main flow, right? Because it's starting to divert, and so to dam those up, and then waiting for the momentum to build back up again takes temperance. Okay, so temperance is also about this acknowledgement that things take as long as they take, right? When you're tempering a sword, it needs to go through its process before it gets to be this metal being forged into something stronger through the process, through the banging, through the cooling, through the fire, right? It's got this whole process that it has to go to. If you rush it, then the sword breaks, right? We've all seen the forger montages where they're like, do it again, they smack the sword and it just shatters or whatever, and then they got to start all over again, right? So you don't want to rush processes because you don't want to have to start all over again, right? So you just do it right the first time, and then you don't have to go back and do it again. Okay, and I feel like that needs to go with your intuition and your hanging out, because while you're going through this process, you're connected to your intuition. It's your intuition, right? You're knowing, you're feeling, you're interacting with the metal that tells you when it's had enough banging, when it needs to be cooled, when it needs to be reheated, all this stuff, right? And considering things from all the angles, that's also what you're doing over there, and creating boundaries, right? Like this is that making sure that you have the time it takes to take it through its process, that you're not going to be interrupted or whatever. Like you're not going to run out of wood before you're done your heating process, right? You need that fire to be stoked and going hot. For it to yield the rewards. Okay. Okay, what else we got here? We've got the Fool jumping, taking the leap of faith. What else we got? Okay. Can't stop, won't stop. Just go all the way through here. So the Fool jumping. So this could be an opportunity for you to follow your heart towards something, or an illumination here. Okay, what else we got here? The Nine of Wands and Justice. Okay, so this is the spiritual garden. This is like the Well, the Nine of Pentacles is your like physical sanctuary, and this is like your spiritual sanctuary. Okay, we've got the soul star chakra, we've got the third eye chakra, and we've got your solar plex. And the line goes all the way down probably to the earth star chakra, right? So, and these could be the blooming of all of the tending various parts of self, your internal realms. Okay, I feel like that is, yeah, because it's connected to your intuition and you hanging out, seeing things from different perspectives. I mean, the spiritual realm is a very different perspective for sure. Okay. And that's where your wishes, right? This, the manifestation power is, I want to say the gateway to your manifestations is through the spiritual realm. I don't know. Okay. I'm just throwing out what I get. Okay. And then this lovers, I feel like it's very much part, this is the love. This is the masculine and feminine energies going into the heart and coming together strong and beautiful. Okay, with the sun here, this illuminating, and then it's also the alchemy, right? You turned your wounds into love, which is a beautiful thing. You turned your coal into diamonds. Okay, beautiful. And then justice. Justice is about what goes around comes around. What you put out, you get back. um, and I really feel this is connected to like your ancestry in a way, in like you're not just getting what you deserve in this lifetime, but in all lifetimes, which I don't know where. Maybe I'm putting that by the intuition because that felt very intuitive. Okay, but maybe it's because there's so many generations in the past where people, um, like codependency, right? This needing someone else to hold the heart for fear of um, being not whole without a person, right? And you being someone who figured out or is on the verge of figuring out, wherever you are, that you can be whole without someone else. And that's a huge lesson. And what's funny, there's like this weird thing in the spiritual and karmic or whatever, like just laws of the universe or whatever, that you get what you aren't looking for. You get everything when you need nothing. And it's such a bizarre thing, but it's this blind faith in all things that you need will be provided when you need them. And I think this is like kind of where in all of like the yogis and ascended masters and spiritual teachers and stuff like that, they're all talking about like not needing anything yet having more than they need always. So the minute that you no longer need someone to heal your heart, that's when you will find someone to share your heart with, if that's what you're looking for. Right? It's like in banks, when you have a bunch of money, they give you a bunch of free stuff. But when you don't have any money, they charge you for not having any money. Like it's just weird, right? I stopped and had lunch at a donut shop, and I just had a sandwich and a coffee, and then I'm like, I'm gonna buy myself a cruller, and so as dessert, so I picked one out, and she's like $2, and all I had was a 20, and she was just like, "Do you have anything smaller?" And I'm like, "I only have a dime," and so she took my dime, and she said, "Good enough," and I was like, "Oh, thank you." Right? She gave me the cruller for a dime, and I don't know. I just had this moment of like, if I didn't have $20 to buy the thing, would I still have gotten the cruller? Like I don't know. I don't know. It's kind of relevant. Okay. And the cruller was delicious. I think it was only the second cruller I've ever had in my life. And oh, it's cruel, all right. It's crueler than it's advertised. Okay. Let's see. We've got the 5 of Wands. We've got people coming in, illuminating. Okay. Drawn too. So this could be, I always want to put boundaries around people because I think we really need to have boundaries around people because, just think of them. They're like little deers and rabbits, right? Some of them. And they just want to find a way into the garden to eat your tomatoes and your carrots. I don't know what you're growing in there. But there's going to be people who want some of it and they are not prepared to. It's not a community garden, first of all. right? This garden we're talking about is your sanctuary, your safe space where you enjoy the fruit, right? If you decide to make a stew and um, set a table and invite people to come and share with you, that's your business. But it's not a free for all. It's not an open door policy. It's not a help yourself situation. Okay, and that's why boundaries are necessary. But these could be people coming in to support you in some way. This could be like your soul tribe. People who, instead of you being used to people coming in and taking, there are people showing up with hoes and snippers and clippers, and they're like, hey, do you need help in your garden? We would love to support you in any way we can. And they're like, actually, I need more help on the fence to keep the deer and the rabbits out. And they're like, woohoo, we'll totally do that. Right? Because there are cooperative components. There are supportive people. There are people who see you as a hardworking sanctuary healer, and they want to bring in reciprocating relationships. They want to love and support you like you deserve to be. Okay? Like maybe you hadn't been in the past. So there are those as well. Drawn to the light. And so I put this one here because I feel like you will be able to know. I think they're somehow connected to your abundance here and your leap of faith, your trusting that not all people wanting in your garden are just going to run amok and destroy, rape, and pillage. That some of them want to just contribute or uplift. You know, they're like, hey, we have these plants that we think would look amazing in your garden. And you're like, yay, I have these extra plants that I could trade you for them. And there's your reciprocation, right? Like, or take my tomatoes. I have 57,000 of them. I'm just one person. I can't eat that many. Okay, and that's its own kind of abundance, right? The lifelong friendships and support systems, support networks, reliable others. And it does take some faith and trust, you know, like even if your heart is more healed, it's maybe, you know, you've spent some time and made yourself some yarn or some string or some roots or something like that that you've used to sew your heart back together into one piece, and you know, added straps, and now you wear it like a little backpack on your back. There still could be some tentativeness, apprehension about letting people back in, but there will be those coming towards you that you want to go all in, that you want to jump in, dive in, because there's going to be some beautiful, beautiful relationships coming out of it. Okay, look at that. We've got the inner child's connecting, sharing, inspiration, creative overflow, like minds. And just like, look at this, right? It's like double eights, infinity coming together, creating this beautiful co-op. Like teammate, team players, team people on your team, on your side. Team you. Okay. Do we need anything else in the center here? Okay, we'll go through one more time. See if anybody else wants to come out. Any other card to support what we got down already here. Okay. So yeah, going back to this awareness and going with the flow, just roll with it, just allow, you know, and these people who are meant to will flow with you, or they will flow away, right? Those who resist, you'll flow right past. And so you don't need to worry about them. right? Or you're like, hey, you might want to turn around. There's a big rock coming. And they're like, what? I can't hear you because I'm too busy trying to get back up the river. Boom. And then you're like, ooh, okay, bye. Because now you've already floated past, dodged the boulder, and have moved on. Are now smelling a beautiful flower. Okay, what do we got here? The soul shrinker. Oh no. Oh no, soul shrinker. 55. What you talking about? Critical and malicious thoughts and words are having a detrimental effect on the situation and the people involved in it. Steps need to be taken to banish this cursed energy through love and compassion, or at the very least through forgiveness and a refusal to accept the curse into oneself. Understand the implications of this and transforming the behavior and feelings involved is a major and often very difficult step in human spiritual development. One of the things usually involved here is taking responsibility for ourselves and our own feelings rather than blaming others for the way we are. Another part of this process is to learn to be compassionate towards ourselves. If we can do that, it's much easier not to be horrible to and about others. This doesn't mean that we are supposed to be all sweetness and light all the time. Constructive criticism given compassionately is part of being real, and reality is a good thing to be in touch with. Okay, so I think this is boundaries. This is where the boundaries come in, and your emotional resilience, your emotional momentum here. Okay, your doubts, your fears, your distrust. All of these things are interrupting your flow, and this is that awareness of what you are speaking into existence, right? So be very, very careful around your thoughts and your feelings and your actions and towards yourself, like your internal dialogue, as well as what you speak, think about onto others, right? If you are worried that people coming in are coming in to harm you, then you're thinking that reality into being, right? And this is not to assume that they're not. You're still aware, having an awareness tapped into your intuition and a recognition that there are those out there. But it's more of an awareness versus an assumption, maybe. Definitely meditate on that if you're resonating with it. My Jackie! I love my Jackie. The mushroom lady didn't have any last week, and she was like, I'm so sorry to me. And I'm like, it's fine. I'll just have something else. She's like, no. She felt so bad because I get it every week because I love it. And then I'm always telling her about different things that I do with it. I just get really passionate about things, but I can live without things as well. It's fine. I'm patient. I am very patient. Especially for the good things, right? Some things are worth the wait. Okay, we got more blue. Are there only blue mushrooms in here? Last couple days, it's just been blues. The blues. Okay, discovery and the unknown. A new discovery awaits you, and it's going to be like stepping into the unknown. So don't move forward with assumptions of what it's going to be like. Go in with an open mind and heart and allow it to unfold without expectation. Sometimes you are not meant to know what the unknown holds for you because you need to actually experience it. You may see it as negative, you might find it positive. Either way, know that it is important and exactly where you are meant to be. If things don't turn out the way you thought and you find yourself in a negative thought pattern, remind yourself to give thanks for the situation, even though you are not sure why it may be happening. It will most likely be revealed to you at a later date because it was a stepping stone for you to get somewhere else. If you could see the whole path ahead of you, would you take the first step? Sometimes it's good not to know where you are heading because the road ahead may be too overwhelming. Take a stepping stone approach and move from one to the next without worrying where they are taking you. As long as you follow your intuition, you won't be led astray. If you are allowing logical and emotional decisions to override your intuitive processes, you will find too many pathways to take. Intuition is key here. Be strong, be confident, and trust your gut. The unknown awaits and it has many gifts for you. Yay! Okay, putting that over here with the intuition. Yes, beautiful. Into the unknown. Into the unknown. Yes. Move there accordingly, right? Take people as they come. Trust your intuition. Take situations as they come and trust your intuition. It's interesting too. When I was camping and I was going to sleep, I heard something like drinking the water or drinking water. And I was like, what the heck? And then I remembered that I had left my washing bowl, my rinse So I wash in one bowl and then have a bowl of hot water that I rinse in. And I had left it. I forgot to dump it. And I was like, oh, well, it's just like the faint, smell of anything in there. And drinking water, like I was really good and diligent on all the other cases. That was just the one thing that I overlooked. And I heard it a couple times, like something drinking out of this water. And then I was trying to think, like, it's pretty quiet. Like, what's out there? Like, what could it be? A raccoon, maybe? Or it's pretty quiet. I'm not hearing like the sounds of things moving or anything. And I just, I was trying to tap in, trying to rack my brain, couldn't think of anything. And in the end, I just remember thinking, like, well, they're getting something out of it, right? Like, what harm can just a little flavored drink of water do? And then, I heard like a few licks, right? When I woke up in the morning, and looked in the bowl, there were 4 drowned mice. And what I was hearing, I realized in that moment that I was hearing them drown, not them drinking the water. And I immediately was like, no, 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 like, because like I don't kill things intentionally, and I actually try hard to avoid killing things whenever possible. And so this was a really big bummer for me. And I had this whole, like, what the heck, intuition? Like, where were you? Why didn't you? Mice didn't come up into my mind at all, like at all. And it was really I was really struggling with it, and I was feeling so bad. And my imagination and my empathy, now I'm picturing, oh, what's this? Oh, yummy water, like the whole playing out the whole scenario. And then, Henry, no, I can save you. And then there goes the other one, right? Like, oh my God. And went through this whole thing. Anyways, I decided that I was going to give him a proper burial. So I grabbed a couple leaves, and picked them up and dug a hole and put them in there, and just, apologized to each one because it was totally my negligence and stuff like that, and put them to rest and stuff. And then I was sitting by the river finishing my coffee, and I just, again, was just overwhelmed by it. And I wanted to cry, and I could feel myself suppressing it, like not wanting to cry. And then I'm like, no, I'm gonna, I want to, I'm going to. And so I allowed myself to feel how I wanted to feel about this situation. And I cried. And it also reminded me of, the last time I went camping with my family. They had a big bucket and, a bucket trap. And I was like, oh, what's in this bucket when I first got there? And it was full of drowned mice. And I was like, oh no, right? Because I got an eye full of it. And my family always shamed and ridiculed my sensitivity. And so, in that moment, I did take like a, oh, trauma, but I didn't cry. I was masking for them. And then later on, they tried to bring it up to try to trigger me to again, and I just ignored them. Like, it was this whole thing, right? And so I was also brought back and releasing, everything from that time as well in this one time. Anyways, then I'm like asking my intuition, was that what it was about? Was it about my release? Like, did the sacrifice, did they sacrifice, that was part of their journey, to sacrifice themselves so that I can learn how to allow myself to feel what I feel when I feel it. Sorry that this is super long, but I just, it felt relevant because, in this mushroom one, it said, if things don't turn out the way you thought and you find yourself in a negative thought pattern, remind yourself to give thanks for the situation, even though you are not sure why it may be happening. It will most likely be revealed to you at a later date because it was a stepping stone for you to get somewhere else. Right. And so, yeah, this moving through, even though you don't understand, right? This is that trusting in the process, even though it doesn't make sense. Like, how can I be someone in touch with my intuition and not have even considered that it was mice and that they might get trapped in that bowl because the bowl was too deep and not be able to get out and all of this thing, right? Like, anyways, okay. So, just trust in the process and your ability to transmute and to turn things, and your awareness of maintaining your emotional regularity. Don't hold on to it too tight. Like, yes, it does keep kind of circling back, like I'll, especially when I'm going to sleep and I close my eyes and then I hear that little, drinking sound, and then I'm like replaying that part and I'm like, oh my God, right? Just don't, consider them as things passing you by, and don't pick it up and add it to your float state, if you know what I'm saying. Okay. Sorry, that was really long. We've got a number 2, which is a universal flow. Beautiful. Conscious creation, synchronicity, and surrender. Your positive thoughts and feelings are aligned with the universal flow of creation. By maintaining a positive focus on your desired outcome, desired income, interesting. On your desired outcome, you've released control and set the universe into motion. Old struggles will continue to melt away and be replaced with a newfound sense of energy and freedom. Observe the synchronistic events unfolding around you and marvel in the knowledge that you are consciously creating your life experience. As a divine being, your journey is one of constant movement and change. You have the power of the universe flowing with each thought. Embrace your new awareness and actively create the life of your dreams. Wow. Okay. And 16, community, connection, friendships, and common goals. You are a spiritual being on a path of self discovery. Observe with compassion the many souls simultaneously engaging in the sacred journey of life, with each person expressing their own ideas, beliefs, and perceptions. Learn from your shared connection with all walking this path and appreciate the contributions of each individual. There is much value to be gained from sharing with others. You are guided to join a group, volunteer your time, or seek out a new experience. Connecting with others of similar interest will enrich your life and support continued growth. You are a beautiful expression of divine energy that is celebrated, supported, and unconditionally loved. Okay, that's a gorgeous confirmation of this community soul tribe. I just want to say the soul tribe, people who want to lift you up and celebrate you. And that's where you will meet all of your enduring, long lasting, beautiful, beautiful relationships. Okay, I'm not going to take up any more of your time. Thank you so much for being here. I appreciate you. That's the reading. I hope there were lots of good things for you in there, and that my story did not depress you. Because it was a hard one, but I gave him a good burial, and yeah, I really think they were some weird hybrid. They were like a rat mouse. They were really weird. Anyways, yeah, I would bid you a good day, and I hope to see you next time. And just go forward, making good choices, maintaining your emotional regularity here. And love you. Thank you. Peace be with you. Okay, bye.